the idea of the play came from the children's play song. A child's play song. Huh?
Yeah.
And this whole idea of somebody not knowing whether to go left or right, the whole dilemma thing. I don't know why, and I can't explain it, but when I just one evening got the idea. First, I remember the song from when I was growing up in Takoradi, and then immediately, just thinking of the song, and then in the next moment, I knew I was going to do something with the song, and in the third moment, I knew it was going to be a play. It just happened, like an incredible sequence.
A sort of inspirational moment, I
Yes.
suppose. Yeah, it does happen.
It was an inspirational moment. And then, once I decided I was going to write a play based on this song, I was wondering, what kind of a play? And again, it didn't take me too long to decide that it was going to be situated within a marriage, and that the couple would have to come from different backgrounds. The idea of making it, in fact, the first idea was to make them a biracial, a Ghanaian boy marrying
a white girl.
I dismissed it immediately. That idea did not last 2 minutes in my head.
It's got this little trace of it left where he announces he's married an American, and they all think it's a white girl. Yeah.
Because it's so, for me anyway, even then, and I've become, of course, more convinced with time, that is so easy. What I mean, yeah. Black boy, white girl, black girl, white boy. I'm sorry, but it wasn't challenging enough. It didn't seem to me to be challenging enough. So I didn't even stop there at all. And then of course, I had thought of two Ghanaians from different backgrounds. Like linguistic backgrounds. And that could have been interesting. But somehow at the time, I wasn't keen. What seemed to me really worth exploring was the relationship between an African and somebody from the diaspora.
Yeah, well, and that's the way you get the slavery into the piece, which after all is do I go to Caicos, do I go to it is actually your side of the point.
Yes.
And it's interesting, both your plays are about slavery, and this is obviously a very, very important in your whole reason for writing, is that you want to write about that ghost, because I suppose the ghost is the slave, isn't it?
In fact, I only realized later, much later, by reading critics, all these post-colonial critics, yes, African and non-African alike, who pointed out that in actual fact, I am, one African writer who had, kind of concentrated on this issue.
And not many do.
Not many do. Not many do. And as usual, my response is, me, fools rushing where angels fear to. What I'm saying is, these are very sensitive issues. The whole, and of course, when I tell people, they think I'm just trying to be funny, but I'm not. When I say that, to a certain extent, I'm very glad that I wrote the dilemma when I wrote the dilemma, because I'm not so sure that now or later I would have had the courage.
Right.
To
It took
write
a 22-year-old with that.
Yeah. What
Like it
I'm
took
saying
over the
is,
world energy.
because the entire field is mined. I mean, the whole relationship between Africans and the children of the African exile. You know, people, and I think in a way it's a pity, because until we deal with it, we'll just let ourselves be haunted on both sides of the Atlantic,
Sorry, be wanted or be haunted?
Haunted,
by,
yes.
by the ghost.
Yeah, by the ghost, their ghost, our ghost.
And in the end, it's a shared history, and if we don't deal with it, then we don't have a way of moving forward.
Exactly. You see, I mean, for me, the way forward is being really open, honest about the whole thing. How it's going to be done, and it has started, however haltingly, but it has to be done. We can't pretend it didn't happen. And then, because we are not working actively on it as an issue for black people, it becomes a blame game, like your people sold our people, and then the Africans saying something like, it wasn't us who sold your, it's sad.
Yes, and it doesn't move it forward.
It doesn't.
Whereas, if we actually take on board the fact that we still live in a world which was created by slavery and continues to be created through slavery, then perhaps we tackle it.
Yes.
Because then we look at the real issues which exist now to do with inequality and human trafficking. Which
the whole lot. So that's where the dilemma came from the fact that people were here from the African exile, the global Africa, the fact that I thought that this presented quite a challenge. So I can think of those two. I know there's a third, but that will have to come
come in time.